So, some of you keep asking me, what if we have a recession? What's going to happen to my home values? Well, I'm going to talk about that right now, so stay tuned. We're getting started right now. Hey y'all, welcome back to this episode of Your Wichita Falls. I'm Debbie Dobbins, and I'm a real estate entrepreneur here in Wichita Falls. I love helping people buy homes, sell homes, get loans, find investments, become entrepreneurs. I love making people feel that they are abundant, and that's at the bottom line to all of this. And that leads me into lots of conversation about what's happening with the economy right now. I just did a video on the interest rate, so I really invite you to watch that because it's very, very important to understand what's happening in our world today, because I know a lot of you are feeling that pain, especially when you go to the pump, you go to the grocery store, or you get your tax appraisal and your tax bill for your property taxes. But it's important, so important to understand history proves. That's very important. History proves an economic slowdown does not, I repeat, does not equal a housing crisis. So here's the thing. I've been doing this for a really long time because, hey, I'm old. And I've been doing real estate for 30 years. I've watched every kind of up and down you can imagine. And then I was a kid growing up and heard my parents talk about it because, you know, I started in the 80s and I heard about it during the 70s. So we've had some really serious ups and downs, but never, ever in the whole history of the world has real estate been a bad investment. We've had two kind of major dips, but guess what? When those dips came back, they came back with a vengeance. They came back so incredibly that look at where we are now. I hear people all the time, you know, my family members, friends who share, oh my gosh, I sold my house at, you know, whatever it was, 5 years ago, 10 years or whatever, and if I'd only held on to it, I could be a bazillionaire right now. Well, life doesn't exactly work that way. But what happens is, and what's really important to know, that in 4 of the last 6 recessions, so we've had recessions, we've had actual recessions in this country, and what we're heading for right now, it's not a recession, it is a pain point, and I encourage you to watch that video on the interest rates because you're going to learn a lot. But in the 4 of the last 6 recessions, home prices actually, appreciated. They only fell twice. Now, I know everyone doesn't see that because you have selective memory about what happened. In the 2008, oh my gosh, everybody remembers that. It was like plummet, but there was a whole lot of reasons that are not what we are experiencing here or the last 6 recessions. So home prices only fell twice in those last 6 recessions. Minimally, and minimally, I mean really minimally, they had a little dip in the early 90s by nearly 20% during the housing crash in 2008. Those are the 2 times that we had a housing dip as a result of a recession. So for those of you that are buying houses right now and thinking about your resale value, I have this conversation on a daily basis. What if I buy at the top of the market? Okay, we might have a flattening, but you're not going to lose money, especially in the long run. Now, if you're talking about 6 months and all of a sudden it flattens in the 6 months, that's a different story. But the fact of the matter is, that's pretty darn incredible that if you had a recession, we had 6 major ones. We're not really in that situation at this point because the Fed's really on top of it. I say that tongue in cheek. Because the housing market continues to go. So yes, does it go boop, boop? It's off the charts right now. This housing market is making a moderate shift right now. So watch my video on Are We in a Correction? Because it's got a lot of great information. But I want to share this for those of you that have property right now or thinking about buying property. The values are not going to be affected historically by a recession, even if we do technically have one and that's what they call it. Because it doesn't happen with real estate. It'll happen with that stock market. It'll happen with I don't know what's going on with that cryptocurrency, people, but you better be careful of it. So if you have any questions about how the economy works, what's going on with the values of real estate, what's going to happen with the market, there is a link in the first comments below that you can schedule a Zoom meeting. And I would love to share with you all about what's going on with the economy, with the real estate market, how to buy or sell real estate in Wichita Falls, how Texas affects everything that's going on, because this is why you want to have a professional talk to you about what's happening in the market. This market that we have right here, I've said it over and over and over and over, is nothing like 2008. Zero like it. The things and the factors that contributed to it do not exist. So do not think that that's what's happening. I love to share about what's going on with the economy. I love to help you prosper. I love to have you be abundant. So stay tuned for the next video that's coming up. And as I always say, y'all come back now. You hear?